Hello, I'm Mirella Moro from UFMG, Universidade Federal de Minas Gerais, Brazil. And it's a pleasure to be here to talk to you about diversity and inclusion. Diversity requires a balance between inclusion and equity in order to work properly. So diversity means plurality of attributes, of personal traces that a person brings to a group. Inclusion is that feeling of belonging, that this person belongs to a group, even though it has this diverse attributes, right? And equity is a matter of being fair, treating this person fairly with no distinction regarding those attributes. In my point of view, in Brazil, diversity is reduced to gender and race. Like there is nothing else, no other attributes that matter, which is not true. Inclusion is limited to people with special needs. And equity is just me. It's something that, those crazy feminists invented because they have nothing else better to do, which is crazy, I know. But this is my point of view, right? And how can D&I be achieved? What sorts of actions we can do? First of all, know your data, and second, D&I must come from within. So know your data. In Brazil, the university entrance is by major. So when a student gets into the university, this student gets into medicine, into law, into computer science, into information systems. Now that allows the government to come up with all sorts of statistics. So for example, considering all students registered in all computer higher education majors, which include computer science, computer engineering, information systems, teaching, computing, all two-year tech degrees. This is the percentage of women enrolled in those majors. In 2001, percentage of women was 24%, and in 2019 was 14%, and this number has decreased over time. What about databases and other areas within computing? So my research group and I published this paper in 2020 that we analyzed the problem committee of 15 Brazilian conferences within the period of 2011 to 2019. And this is the average number of women in those program committees. So the program committee with most women with an average of 45% is informatics in education, followed by HCI, collaborative systems, information systems, and then databases, completing the top 5. Now, comparing the Brazilian conference to the major ACM conference. So this is SBBD versus SIGMOD. In the same period, 2011, 2018, percentage of women in program committee. So Brazilian conference has capped, its percentage between 25 to 45%. It fluctuates a lot. But SIGMOD has, decreased the percentage of women from almost 40% in 2011 to 12% in 2018. So what helps to keep the women in the database community is our sense of community, our sense of belonging. Since 2008, we take a picture of professors and researchers. And then from 2008 on, every single year, we take this picture. And from 2011 on, we also have a lunch or a dinner together, all women in the conference. The sense of belonging, having the students with us, with the professors, to inspire the students to keep working and to want to remain in our community. It is very important. And D&I should come from within, should come from community, with support from organizations and maybe within our curricula. Support from our organization. So the Brazilian Computer Society has this magazine, and last year in June, it published a special issue in gender diversity in computing. So 50 pages dedicated to gender diversity in computing. It was very successful edition of this magazine. This is a paper that will be presented by me. The title is Lack of Diversity. Are you part of the problem or its solution? It is already online at bit.ly/lack of diversity. It has a lot of references, a lot of examples of how to discuss diversity, equity, and inclusion within any class, including database. Overall, who is responsible for it? We are. We as a society, we as computer scientists. How it's done, look for examples. There are plenty of examples over the web. How to convince inclusion is needed? Good examples. We always need good examples to do that. And is inclusion just a strategic game that one has to play? Yeah, society is getting there. Deal with it. Remember when personal computers were something out of a sci-fi book? For me, it's the same thing. It will be the same thing with diversity, equity, and inclusion. In a couple of years, in a couple of decades, it won't be something out of a dream. It will be our reality. At least I hope so. Thank you very much for inviting me for this panel. And this is all my contacts are at bit.ly/profa Mirella. Thank you very much.